Sunday. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a full moon reading. I'm gonna do them by modality. We're gonna start first with cardinal signs, which is Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer. Okay. First things first. Where do you need to incorporate more authenticity into your life? High Priestess, and following your intuition and walking on your spiritual journey and moving with God before it makes sense sometimes. Okay, that's number one. Second question for you guys: how can you connect more with your confidence and your courage? Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to learn something new. Don't be afraid to be curious and mess up and bumble around. It's okay to bumble around until you figure it out. It doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. Cardinal energies are fixer type energies, so we're used to navigating things with a certain level of grace, awareness, skill, and prestige. And when we feel like we're going to fall short of that, we have a tendency to hold back. This is telling me walk into your confidence and courage, or connect more with your confidence and courage by not being afraid to be the fool sometimes. It's okay because it comes with learning experience. Where do you need to be more honest with yourself? You have the Seven of Swords. You need to take a better mental assessment and figure out some things that you can let go of, where you're creating conflict, where there doesn't need to be any, and how you can stop deceiving yourself about certain things. You haven't been really honest with yourself and owning up to yourself and holding yourself accountable, and that needs to change. It's going to start first with an assessment, okay? Mental assessment. What are you keeping and what are you releasing? Where is your ego standing in the way? Your ego is standing in the way of your spiritual new beginnings and your inspiration, because it keeps you limited by your experience. And then additional guidance, we have the Knight of Cups, which is definitely an energy of romance, and softness and receptivity and innocence. And the Two of Wands, which has to do with making plans and figuring out which direction you want to go in. So that makes sense for the astrological time period that we're in. And again, this was for cardinal signs. Definitely need to focus on love, affection, and figuring out who you care about, who cares about you, leading into those revelations. Honor and respect are definitely going to come to you. You may have had some difficult times, but it seems like the most difficult part of it is over, and those hidden secrets that have come up need to be resolved, okay? Period. All right, so getting back to these full moon readings, this is for the energy of the full moon in Aries. We've done cardinal. We're going to go ahead and move on to fixed. If you're Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, or Scorpio, this is for you. That can apply to your moon, sun, or rising, okay? First things first, how can you be incorporating more authenticity? The Four of this, definitely materially and energetically speaking, you need to be more humble. You need to be more modest. You don't have to put on for the gram. You don't have to be showy. You don't have to present this glamorous extra lifestyle. It's okay to be like, look, I'm staying in, I'm broke right now, I'm trying to save. Like, it's totally fine to do that. You can be more authentic by incorporating that energy into your life. And if you have already been doing that, definitely continue to do so. How can you connect more with your confidence and courage? You have the Five of Discs, so you need to address your abandonment issues, your feelings of emotional loss and betrayal, because they definitely are keeping you stuck and insecure. So addressing those things is going to help you connect more with your confidence and courage. Where do you need to be more honest with yourself? You have the Star. Listen, you have so much power, so much light, so much talent, so much push to give the world, especially under the current astrological influence, and you have to be willing to lean on other people and be more communal energy in exerting those intentions. You cannot do it all on your own. You got to be willing to lean on your fellow man. And this Star in conjunction with this Three of Discs is giving me that message. Where is your ego standing in your way? You got the Page of Cups in reverse for that. It's definitely telling me you've been unwilling to deal with certain messages that you've been receiving, especially as it relates to your emotions and your inner child healing. And and that is standing in the way of not only your healing but your forward movement as well. Additional oracle guidance, we do have the Wheel of Fortune. What goes up must come down. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fate is always turning. That's why you need to strike when the iron is hot. When things are good, you need to be saving up for a rainy day, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentally, or spiritually speaking. And that's just how that goes. Got the clouds come up, which represents temporary problems. If you've been going through something recently, seems like that is coming to the end. And there's a lot of karmic revelation happening for fixed signs as well. So you will reap what you have sown, whether it's good or bad. You might feel tied down and frustrated by your own karma, but you created it, so you're going to have to deal with it. All right? All right, last but not least, we have our mutables. That's Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, Pisces. This is an energy reading for the full moon in Aries. So first things first, again, how can you incorporate more, or where do you need to incorporate more authenticity into your life? Where do you need to incorporate more authenticity into your life? You have the Page of Swords, so you definitely need to shift your perspective and act on your new ideas without worrying so much about what other people think or how they will react to them, or whether they'll be receptive. Sometimes you just gotta move and do it before getting the other. Sometimes you gotta ask for forgiveness instead of permission is kind of the message that this Page of Swords in this position is giving to me. And go with your own flow, adopt a little bit more of your airy qualities. That's how you can incorporate more authenticity. How can you connect more with your confidence and courage? You got the Eight of Cups. You need to do some emotional detachment and walk away from some things that are emotionally, no longer serving you. If you don't do the work at 6, that requires emotional healing. The work at 7, that requires emotional sacrifice. You're going to end up on the downside of the 8. You'll have to walk away and sacrifice some things before you'll end up at your success point. And so, because you're not willing to let go of certain things emotionally speaking, it is affecting your confidence and your courage. And you need to work that energy out, balance it out, okay? How can you be more honest with yourself? Understand that everything that glitters is not gold, and putting your emotions and energy and time into things that feel good, even though you know damn well they're not good for you, is putting you into a position of a lack of frustration and of failure. And you can be more honest with yourself by admitting to that. Where's your ego standing in the way? Your ego seems to be doing a good job right now of not standing in the way. You've been leaning into your spiritual connection and trusting God more, trusting your ancestors more, and that's helpful for you, mutable signs. So that's a good thing. Additional oracle guidance. We do have the Knight of Pentacles come through, which speaks to forward movement, new manifestations, and those ideas turning into action. You may not be fully committed, but it's turning into action nonetheless. Definitely going to bring happiness. There might be some criticism associated with that happiness, but you'll be okay, because this is something that's very near and dear to your heart that you're doing, and it's giving you a certain level of spiritual fulfillment, which I think is going to be good for you, okay? So yeah, that's that on that for mutables.